May I introduce to our next presenter, Mr. Shaktisinh Thakor, Program Manager at Ikshula Service Private Limited. Mr. Shaktisinh Thakor, please come on stage.
Good noon, everyone. Yeah. So myself, Shaktisinh Thakor, I am going to talk about today the role of Adobe Sensei in Adobe Commerce. I am working as a program manager, at Ixula, and we are a, Adobe branch partner and Mumbai Magento meetup organizer. So thank you for joining this session, and I'll do my best to make this session more informative and productive for you guys. Okay, so first thing I would like to share the agenda of this session. So we'll discuss about what is Adobe Sensei, where Adobe Sensei is used, what are the capabilities of Adobe Sensei, how it can be integrated with the Magento, and what is its role in a product recommendation and Adobe Live Search. And if you have some time, we'll have a question answer. Here I assume that some of the people in this session are aware about the product recommendation and Adobe Live Search. If not, that is completely okay. I am going to explain that so you can better understand that. Okay, so let's start with the introduction to Adobe Sensei. So Adobe Sensei is a set of technologies artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning by Adobe. And it is used to create a wide range of capabilities among Adobe products. So it is basically an intelligence layer added to the Adobe products. So question is like where the Adobe Sensei is used. So Adobe comes up with 3 cloud product offering, that is the Adobe Creative Cloud, Adobe Experience Cloud, and Document Cloud. So Adobe, use these Adobe Sensei within all of these products. So under Creative Cloud, we have Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, Premiere, InDesign, Adobe Express, and our Adobe Commerce, Analytics, Target, that all comes under Experience Cloud. And in the document, we have Adobe PDF Creator, Adobe Signature, and Adobe Scan. So in these all, we can find the capabilities of Adobe Sensei. So now let's talk about the capabilities of Adobe Sensei. So as Adobe continues to develop its AI offering within this Adobe Sensei, they have kept their focus on 3 core competencies, that is content intelligence, creative intelligence, and experience intelligence. So under content intelligence, like identify and tagging the images, it can summarize the tags for us like ChatGPT, selecting the subject from images, which was like manual earlier, but nowadays we can do it very quickly in few seconds, and analyzing the semantic structure of documents. So Adobe Sensei can understand what is in the document, that too in a plain and scan document using OCR. And under creative intelligence, we have we can have a more realistic 3D image, animating the characters effortlessly, and remixing the music and making your photo look more professional. And the last is the experience intelligence, and that is what going to be focus of our session. So like personalizing the content, optimizing the ad spend, and scaling to new audience and optimizing for what works. So let's go deep dive into experiential intelligence. So now I'll explain where the Adobe Sensei is used. So in Adobe Commerce, it is used with 2 products, 2 features like product recommendation and the live search. So like I said, if you are not aware about what is product recommendation, so you might have visited like Amazon.in or Flipkart.in, right? So where you have found the products under title like most popular, trending now, the best seller, right? So those are all the example of product recommendation, and it is not even limited to e-commerce site. Even in LinkedIn, like when you look at someone profile, it shows like people similar to this profile, right? So that is also part of recommendation engine. And even this is not limited, like it is also used on streaming application, like when you visit Amazon Prime Video or Hotstar there, and Netflix, everywhere this recommendation engine is used. So Adobe has also focused on that. And next is the Adobe Live Search. So it's a new module from Adobe Commerce which replaced the standard search capability in Adobe Commerce. And we can install this from the command line of the server, and then it start appearing in the marketing menu in the admin side. So let's go deep dive into these two. So we'll discuss about Adobe Sensei role in product recognition, how it can be integrated and used with the product recognition. So let me introduce you all to the Commerce Service Connector. Okay, so some of the Adobe Commerce and Magento open source features are powered by and deploy as a service. So to use these, service, we just need to connect our Adobe Commerce instance to this service using production or sandbox API key, and then specify the, SaaS environment in the configuration. So once that is done, it start working. So, and one more note I would like to share that, product recognition can also be integrated with the Magento PWA and with a custom front end like Vue.js or React.js or even with the headless. So that is also, it is working. Now I'll take a quick overview of architecture part for product recognition. So on this we have two entity, like on one side we have Adobe Commerce, other side we have a live search. So what gets synced between these two, right? So for the product recommendation engine to work, it needs the product data, right? So catalog has to be seen, and then what are the uh, yeah, so whatever we are creating the recommendation unit, that's also passed to the Adobe Sensei though, so it start understanding, shopper's behavior. So the major data are the storefront event, like what customer is doing on the front end, and that, utilized by Adobe Sensei, and then, we start generating the results. So this is the architecture overview. Now let me explain about how to, install the product recommendation. So we can install the product recommendation using the composer. Okay, and if you want to use the page builder tool for this product recommendation, then we have to use a separate module. Okay, and apart from that, there is one more recommendation type called a visual similarity items. So for example, you are selling, jackets, and you want to sell similar jackets, then you need to use a visual similarity based on image. So for that as well, you have to install a separate package or module. Next, let's see what customization options are available in product recommendation. So like, once this started working, showing on the front end, it comes up with the out of the box store front template, but we can also customize. So when this module is installed, it creates a product recommendation layout directory, and it has the template file which we can change so that it matches the look and feel of your website. Second is the placement. So where this recommendation will appear on the front end, right? So there are mainly two options, on top of the main content and on the bottom of the main content. But if you want to customize that too, that is also possible. And if you are using page builder to, add and showcase your recommendation, then you can use page builder tool itself where you want to put it. And for other files, like mainly this can be on a home page category, PDP, cart, and confirmation. For all these pages, you need to edit the .xml file. Now let's see how we create and manage the product recommendation. Yeah, so here is the interface from where we create and manage the, product recommendation in Magento admin. So it comes up with, interesting statistics, on how these recommendations are working well. And this matrix can be customized for last day, last week, or last 30 days. And initially the scope of recommendation is set to default store view. So if you have a multiple store view where you have applied your recommendation, then you can change it. And we can also show hide columns on this. Now on the top right side, you can see a create recommendation. So when you click on it, it takes you to the next screen. So it allows you to create a new recommendation. Okay, so to create a new recommendation, obviously we have to add a name, which is the internal name for the admin, not on the front end. And then you select which page, on which page you want to display. So here you can select multiple page where you want to put this new recommendation. And then you need to select the recommendation type. So there are 4 groups. I'll share in the next slide. So under the personalized, we have a recently viewed and recommended for view. So these are the recommendation type we need to select, and then the storefront display name. So what customer should see for this title, right? So that is the storefront display label that we can define. So in nutshell, when you create a new recommendation, we need to define recommendation name, page type, recommendation type, storefront label, and the number of products in the unit. How many products you want to show, like 5, 10, 15, that is you can also define, and the page placement like on top of the main content or of the bottom of the main content, and then order of the recommendation. So about the order, like I just want to say that on a one page, apart from the page builder, you can put only 5 recommendation, okay? And once that limit is reached, that option becomes gray out, so you cannot select it further. And now, for example, you already have a 3 recommendation, you are adding the fourth one, then you can do drag and drop to define the position. So that is also possible. And the last is the exclusion category. So here you can select category where you don't want to display the new recommendation. Okay, so these are the groups like which, for example, here we are selecting the recommendation type, right? Personalized, cross-sell, upsell. So what comes under each that I'm showing here. So under cross-sell, upsell, we have more like this: visual similarity, bought this, bought that, viewed that. Excuse me. And under popularity, we have a most viewed, most purchased, most added to cart, trending. And under high performing, we have a view to purchase conversion, view to cart conversion, most added to cart, and the most purchased. So these are the different groups. And under each, we have a different set of recommendation type, which we can select while creating the new recommendation. And here I have created a page-wise, recommendation that we can create on each page. So, for example, on homepage we can have a trending, most viewed, recently viewed, most purchased, most added to cart. So these are the different types that we can have on each of these pages. I have compiled here. And about the placement option, like I said, there are 2 options only. So for homepage and category page, we have 2 placement options, like on top of the main content, on bottom of the main content, and for rest of the all pages like PDP, cart, and order confirmation, there are only 2 options, one option, that is the bottom of the main content. And let me introduce what is the training time. So some recommendation type use the storefront behavior, like shopper's behavior, to understand what shopper is doing. And some recommendation type just use the catalog data. It doesn't use any shopper's data, right? So if you just have launched your e-commerce on Adobe Commerce platform website, and you want to start using the product recommendation, then you can start creating like a more like this or visual similarity, because it is just based on the catalog, right? And now being a merchant or developer, you may have question like, when can you start using the product recommendation for your customer based on their shoppers behavior, right? So basically Adobe Sensei needs some training time to train its machine learning model to understand what the shopper is doing, and then start generating the recommendation. Okay, so that training time is called a cold start problem in Adobe Commerce. And here on the screen we can see training time for different recommendation type. Like for popularity base it varies. So like depends on the volume of the events. Views are the most common. So machine learning learns faster than, and then add to cart and add to purchase. For viewed this, viewed that, it require more training because views are decent in highly decent in volume. And the viewed this, bought that, what this, bought that, again it require the most training because the purchase is the rare event compared to the views. And the last is the trending, where it requires 3 days of data to establish a popularity baseline. Now, like here I explain the training time, right? So based on that, it also shows the readiness of the recommendation type. So on the screen, you can see this one is 100% ready, and this is like 86% ready. So it is recommended that you use the recommendation type once it is 100% ready. Otherwise, it will not show the correct data or the correct number of products on the placement, right? So we have to take this into consideration while we, using the product recommendation. Now, assume that you have used the product recommendation type which is not ready. So what will happen? So like you can see on the screen, it will show only couple of products which is not ready. So how to fill this gap? So Adobe Commerce introduced the concept called a backup recommendation. So you can create a backup recommendation for type like recommended for you, viewed this, viewed that, viewed this, bought that, bought this, bought that, trending. So for all these, we can create the backup recognition, so which will fill this gap when the recognition type is not complete or the enough number of products are not coming up. Now let me talk about the Adobe Sensei role in the live search. So how Adobe Sensei can be integrated. So I'm skipping the commands because it is almost identical to the product recommendation, just commands get changed. So it is quite similar. Okay. Let me talk about the architecture overview for live search. So on one side we have Adobe Commerce, other side we have Adobe Live Search Service. So what's get sync? So obviously the catalog data has to be synced because based on that Adobe Live Search will generate the search result. And on top of that, the search management related data like facets, synonyms, rules. I'll explain what is that so you can also understand in live search and the storefront search query. So whatever the user is searching on the storefront, that also has to be communicated to Adobe Sensei. Okay, so let me share the interface. So this is the performance dashboard of the live search. So on this screen, we can find the interesting search terms about what the search term that shopper is using on the website. So like we have also some statistic like unique search, how many unique search that a user has entered so far, what is the click-through rate, how many, what is the conversion rate, and what is the zero result rate, means like the keywords which are not returning results, and average click position. And we can also have some reports like unique search, zero results, and popular. So under unique search we can find the terms which are unique. So based on that you can take some action, like you can create new products to sell to your customer, or you can create synonyms so they can find the accurate products. And on the zero result you can find the terms which is returning no results. So also based on that you can take useful action. Now let me introduce to the facet. So for some people you might have this new term, but for understanding purpose consider it like a similar to filter, but it is one step ahead. Because facets basically it's a one way to add more relevant and specific options to the search result. So when customer is browsing or searching for some products on your website, they can quickly find what they want. And like we know that filters use product visible attribute as the search criteria, and like facets basically provides ability to narrow down the product result with the multiple dimension of the product. So it works with a multiple selection. I'll also share a sample screen of the same. So on this interface, this is from where we can manage the facets. So there are two type of facet, pin facet and the dynamic facet. Pin facets appear first on the list, and the dynamic facets are determined by Adobe Sensei, like which is the more relevant facet for this search query. Based on that, it returns the result. Okay. Let me introduce this concept of synonyms in live search. So we know that meaning of the synonym, right? But what is the use of synonym in live search? So it basically allow you to define the experience so that your customer can search for a product on your website using the keywords which are not at all on your website. So for example, you have a catalog pants in your catalog, okay, but customer are trying to search with the keyword like trousers. So you can define the synonyms. So when they search for that, they can even find that product. So there are two types of synonyms, two-way synonyms and one-way synonyms. So two-way means the same meaning and the same result. So example like pants and trousers. So when the customer is entering either pants or trousers, they will get the same result. And talking about the one-way, so like it has a subset of keywords, so it has some specific meaning. So it will not work like two-way. So in this case, when customer try to search with a backpack, they can also find the messenger pack. But when they try to find with a messenger pack, they will not find the backpack. So it allows you to how you want to control the search result for your shopper. So that also you can define using the concept of synonyms in the live search. Now let me talk about the rules. So using the rules, we can define and control the search experience of the shopper using actions and the conditions. Okay, so let me explain that. Okay, so this is the screenshot where we are creating a new rules. So here it is basically like search query contains. So there are four options there: search query contains, search query is, search query starts with, search query ends with. And here we have a match like any or all. So this is any. So here we have or operator. When we select all, means here we have an and operator. So in this case, we are defining like when shopper is trying to search using pants or yoga, what will happen? So I am doing like a pin a product. So pin a product means I am defining that when customer is searching using this keyword, I want this product to appear first in the search result. So you can do that. So whatever like what you can do, for example, what products you want to show up in the search result, what products you want to show lower in the search result, what products you want to define the specific position. So that is a pin a product. Showing upper is a boost and showing lower in the schedule is the berry, and which product you don't want to show. So even if you don't want to show because of lower inventory or any other reason, that is also possible, so that you can hide these products on the search result page. And here is the example of live search result page where we are trying to search with the run keywords, and dynamically it is showing the search result. So Adobe Sensei understand what the query is and what are the most relevant options in that it show, and you can see those are all with the multiple selection. So user can filter down the results by multiple dimension of the product. And one technical part I would like to share here is that in Magento Open, see this live search use a product search query to request for a product data, while normal standard search work calls product query. So functionally it looks similar, but the product query which is available in Magento Open Source and Adobe Commerce returns the data relevant for a layered navigation, while this product search query returns the data for a facets as well as other features of the live search. So that is a difference in the query. Okay, so that is the role of Adobe Sensei in product recognition and live search. Let me know if you have any questions.
So, it's providing the enhanced features of the search query. So, which one is the better? As in, that the Adobe Commerce is providing the open search, is the inbuilt. Hello.
There it was.
Yeah. So, Adobe Commerce is providing the inbuilt functionality of the open search, and this is a live search. So, live search is providing the more enhanced features than the open search.
Yes.
Which one is the better?
Live search is better because based on this Adobe Sensei capability, it personalize the user search experience, and that is more relevant because user will get quickly what he wants, and that is the ultimate goal of any merchant. Yeah, so that is the option. And if you want to install that, there are two ways: install with the like Elasticsearch, which is a standard search, and install without the Elasticsearch. So what is recommended way, like when you are starting the Adobe Commerce instance or in a staging environment, you can install without the license Elasticsearch. But when it is a live site, Adobe Commerce is live, in that case you can install with the Elasticsearch. And once you're this, because this also needs some time to understand, gets a catalog syncing and data sync. So once that it has sync all the data, then you can disable the Elasticsearch and then using the live search.
Yeah, because it's a cloud instance, so we must use the like using Elastic and the open search or the live search will replace with this one.
Correct, correct, yeah.
Thank you.
You were talking about the product recommendation engine. Now, from what I understand, the recommendation engine is primarily based on two events. One is the viewing, and the other one is the actual purchase or the conversion. Primarily, there are two data events. Now, is there a way to add or track more events get better recommendations? Because I may have a use case where I'm trying to run a site which, let's say, sells downloadable products, and I want to track not just the fact that I have, people who have bought this downloadable product, but maybe people who have actually opened the product or actually, downloaded the file. So can I add additional events to enhance my recommendations? Is that available today? Is there a
Yes, yes. So I have heard that they mention on their documentation that we can customize this service to our custom requirement. So we can do that as well.
and that's something a developer can do, or you will have to work
Uh,
with Adobe to do?
I, that I have to check, but that customization is possible. That is for sure. Yeah. So we can customize this Adobe Sensei service.
I think the same question I was also having, what is the personal behaviors which will be covered in that? So he has asked that we can customize that. So based on the customer behavior only, we can do that. But what exactly the life search is it the same like what customer is doing while accessing or online, while online on the site? What he is performing, is it the same that he recommend that the site recommended?
Yeah. So product recommendation is different, but when you talk about the live search, it so like I'm entering some keyword like yoga pants, right? So based on that query, it checks like what are the rules, what are the facets, synonyms I created, and based on that, it starts generating the results. And when talking about the user experience about the product recommendation, it checks like what customer is doing. For example, what product is viewing, what category is viewing, where is clicking, what is purchasing. So those all behaviors are gets captured. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Standard search and live search are different. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Correct. Yes, yes. So in backup recommendation, like shown in example. So for example, you have created new recommendation more like this, but it is not 100% ready. So and it is coming with two items only. So manually you can define under these what products you want to show as a backup recommendation. No, no, you can, yeah, you can define manually. So to select, yeah. Yes. Mm, I think that because see, you are talking about live search, right? So every time it will take the same meaning and it will generate the same result. Yeah. 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 Yes. 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 Correct. Correct. Yeah. Yeah. So like based on hello. Yeah. So sorry. So, for example, you have created a most popular item, right? But there are hundreds of items, and you have selected to display 5 or 10 items. So, one time display it randomly select 10 items, and then again it will show another set of 10
search it
items.
not, because then it destroys the meaning of search, right?
Is there any other questions? Thank you so much.
We all have one.